Hi everyone, today's video is about decision making, which is difficult enough at the best of times, but an environment with ever moving goalposts, I thought it was worth talking about the pitfalls. It's based on a Harvard Business Review article by Jay Hammond published in 2015. Here's my pal Alan, who has a decision to make, and he's hoping at the end of it he will be a happy guy and have made a good decision. So specifically, I'm going to talk today about the well-documented traps in decision making that actually negatively impact your outcome. We often make bad decisions based on our biases, and our biases can sabotage our reasoning. So there are 8 traps to decision making. The first one is anchoring. Anchoring leads us to put disproportionate weight on the first piece of information that we get, and this information is usually based on a past event. So if you think of the current context of COVID, basing any decisions on your 2019 plans and forecasts and budgets is a complete waste of time because they're not worth the paper they're written on. The second one, the second trap is the status quo, we're compelled to maintain the current situation, even if it's no longer appropriate. So again, trying to continue business as is this year is really not going to work because things have changed so much. Now, this is an extreme example, but generally in business, you know, we do this and you do need to adapt to suit your environment. The next trap relates to the sunk cost trap. And this is where we perpetuate mistakes of the past by making decisions that actually reinforce our prior choices, even though they were poor choices. So essentially, we're talking here is that when you find yourself in a hole, you really need to stop digging. The next one is confirming evidence. So this is a very common trap, and one I've fallen into many a time. And it's where, you know, okay, you want to go get evidence to support your decision, but you know, you do have a bias to go look for evidence that actually supports your pre-existing decision rather than looking at it objectively. The next trap is framing. And so when we have a problem, we're inclined to frame that problem either as a positive or a negative. And because of that, we're actually, you know, putting ourselves into a corner where we might actually miss a potential opportunity. So, you know, it's better off to be neutral. The next 3 traps are all related to forecasting and estimating, and the first one is overconfidence. And so this is, you know, where, you know, we have our own reports that we've prepared, our own forecasts, and we're overly confident in what's in them, and you know, we think our gut knows best, but actually you really need to come back to the data and to the actual objective evidence to make a good decision. The opposite to confidence is prudence, and you know, prudence is again where you might have had a negative experience with, you know, something might have changed. It might have been a good decision, but something changed, and that's why it didn't work out. So you know, this can influence with your future decision making. So again, it's coming back to looking at the data and the facts. And finally, we look at recallability, and recallability prompts us to give undue weight to recent dramatic events. And I suppose this is what I would ask businesses to keep in mind for, you know, the 3rd quarter of next year, is that when they're planning forward, to try and put the pandemic behind us, learn that adaptability and flexibility is important because change continues, but you will not get anything this extreme again. You know, it's a very low chance of it happening. So this is Alan, and he's happy out because he's made his good decision because he was aware, excuse me, of the pitfalls and of his biases. I do keep all my videos on my blog, which you can access at carolmcgee.ie/blog. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.